Hello, everyone. So I had a bit of an issue. The original, um, with the original streaming of this event, so I decided to do it again. I will not give up, technology. I'm not giving up here. Unfortunately, though, our participants are gone, so it's going to be just me. Well, not just me. You're listening to this. So I'm going to picture you. I'm going to picture you listening to this. That's what I'm going to do. We're here to discuss the power of personal branding in the age of AI. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm going to double check, by the way, that this is actually live. Yeah, so far it is. And I'm going to share my screen with you. I don't have many slides. It's just 5. So don't worry. This is going to be a short thought sharing YouTube video / episode on, as I said, the power of personal branding in the AI era. My name is Delfina Morganti Hernandez. I am a seasoned English into Spanish and Spanish into English creative translator and interpreter. I am also a marketing consultant and trainer and mentor. And today I would like to share some thoughts, some ideas, some questions, and one important challenge for you regarding the power of personal branding in the age of AI. One of the questions that brings me here is, how do we stay irreplaceable in the age of AI? How can we stay irreplaceable? Actually, no. Let me correct myself. How can we stay relevant in the age of AI? Can we truly achieve irreplaceability or relevance when AI adoption is getting massive and seems to be currently in fashion? Will there truly come the day when we realize that the cost of becoming AI first is higher for humans, their lives, and their planet than we like to think? So these are the questions that have brought me here, that have led me to gather the courage and create this online event that I'm sharing with you on YouTube. And it's the one as well that propels me to open the discussion about how AI is affecting the jobs of millions of people, not just knowledge workers. In connection with these questions, I would like to quote, I happen to be reading AI Resilient by Joachim Lépine, a Canadian author. In the first chapter, by the very end of the first chapter, actually, he says, there are many reasons why AI does not devalue the work of human experts. Only humans can mitigate risk, protect data confidentiality, understand what the client really wants and needs, be an empathetic presence, provide helpful referrals, point out errors in the client's existing materials, and brief, identify opportunities to add value in a variety of ways, and so much more. Still quoting, but for now, the key thing to keep in mind is that your services are worth more if you use AI technologies, not less. If you are using AI to deliver greater value, your services hold greater value for your client, period. And that's the end of my quote from this book, AI Resilient. So the question of value here is quite important. It's a key word in these last 2 paragraphs of this first chapter of the book. And it got me thinking in connection with all these other questions that that have been there a little bit around in my mind, like, what's the value of what we do, and how do other people learn about the value of what we do? Also, how how do we humans convey value? How do we human experts, human professionals, human specialists can convey value to other human beings. Value is something that, in general, is not instantly perceivable, especially if you sell services, professional services. It can be somewhat hard to quantify or turn into tangible aspects that the client will easily and immediately understand and feel that resonates with them. So from these ideas, I've come to realize that AI and the presence of AI and the increasing adoption of AI creates quite some opportunity for us to rethink not just the value of what we do when we say that we do something, whatever it is, for our clients, but also the way we communicate it. How am I communicating the value of what I do so that the clients that I want to work with me? And how am I communicating the value of what I do so that the clients I want to work with me and not someone else? So, AI, this is all about being us human. We have to be more human than ever. And how can we be more human than ever? How can we be human first when many brands are taking pride in saying that they are AI first now? This sort of led me to think of the concept of differentiation in marketing, of how different, not necessarily better, but different matters so much, and of the actual challenge here. The actual challenge for us human beings is to be humans first and different second. I'll break it down for you, or I will try. So, we human beings, we love fitting in. We love this feeling of belonging, of like, okay, so I belong to this group. I'm a fan of this band, of this football team. We love to be surrounded by peers. Algorithms know this on social media. That's why they present us with content that is similar to other content pieces that we have liked, shared, commented on before. Because we like being around people who are like us. This idea of belonging, of fitting in. We're not used to owning difference. Difference is the reason why many people suffer from bullying at school or even in adulthood. We're not used to embracing our differences. Even when we talk about diversity and inclusion at organizations, being different, owning your differences, and using them strategically to communicate who you are and what you can do for others is not something that we are used to do. And yet, the concept of personal branding has been around for years. So in my train of thought, I started to connect one thing and the other. And as a marketeer, of course, this is biased thinking. As a marketeer, I seriously and firmly believe that AI is here to challenge the way we create value, we add value, even implementing AI, but mostly the way we communicate value so that the value of what we do is perceived by our clients as we intend to. That's our challenge. It's quite a big one, especially for us humans that we like to belong and we like to resemble others and we like to read or sound like the people that we admire, for example, our idols, leaders, the leader of my friend gang, whatever. What is personal branding? Well, Personal branding is everything you do and everything you choose not to do. It's the consistency in what you say that you do and you are, how you work, and everything that you have there to prove that that's exactly who you are, what you do, how you work. Personal branding is what people say about you as well, what they perceive about you as well. Whether you are consciously and actively building your brand or not, you are a personal brand. We human beings have a personality, each and every one of us. We have an identity, and whether we are owning it or not, consciously building it and distributing content with it or not, it's there. Perception is human. Perception is inevitable. If perception is inevitable and perceived value from another human being, client, is something I can influence, then personal branding and being human and different from others is more important than ever, especially in the AI era. I would like to finish this episode of I don't know what exactly, thoughts on everything that's going on. Maybe I could call it that, this content segment in my channel, with a challenge for you. Regardless of what you do, regardless of your job title, your level of experience, whatever you do, I would like to challenge you to make a list of every marketing material, communication material that you are using at present to convey the value of what you do to others, to your potential ideal clients. So you make a list and to audit that against who you are. Do these materials, does your message read and sound like you, or do they read and sound like someone else, someone you cannot even recognize? Be honest. And if you find it hard, if you find it hard to do this audit of your own communication materials, you can start small, simple, by asking the people around you, like friends, family, partner, not your pets, your clients, how do you feel when you interact with me? Ask that friend that you go and have a coffee with at the coffee shop, how do you feel about interacting with me? Why do you stay in a conversation with me? What are your feelings and emotions whenever you're dealing with me? It doesn't have to be with you as a professional. I'm speaking of asking people how they feel when they deal with us as human beings. If you come to think of it, every big brand, every big corporation, no matter what they do, no matter their industry, they're just a bunch of humans put together under a name, usually a trademark or a registered trademark. For example, McDonald's with a character, a clown. Apple with a real human being, Steve Jobs, who's somewhat there, present, even when he's no longer among us in this world. Thing doesn't exist without a main character. That main character could be human, could not be human. But we connect with personalities. Personalities and identities resonate with personalities and identities. What makes us human is our differences. It's not just what we have in common with other human beings, it's also our differences. How about we embrace them? How about we uncover them? What makes me different? Why do you stay here with me having this conversation? Why are you listening to this video? What do you feel when you interact with me? If we could tap into that, and somehow infuse it into our communication strategy, whether it be at a corporate level, big corporate level, or at a smaller level, me as a solopreneur, you as a freelancer, you as a leader, you as a manager, you as a CEO, it doesn't matter. If we could just tap into the human aspects of what we say that we do for others and bring it to others in all of its authenticity, I think that would be impactful communication. We need impactful communication. We need impactful communication because there is so much noise out there. So much noise everywhere. People are distracted, busy, consuming content in more than one channel at the same time. We just can't afford to read and sound like everyone else or get AI to do it for us, and that's it. If you really want to tap into people's minds and hearts and have them think of you, what do you have to create or add value for them? It's time for you to start embracing who you are, owning who you are, thinking human first and different second. Thank you very much for listening to this rant, venting, philosophical approach to everything that's going on. By now, September 2025, who knows what tomorrow will bring? There was a song. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I love it. Anyway, subscribe to this channel if you liked, enjoyed, hated this episode of AI thoughts in connection with how we can see this an opportunity for us to get better and better at what we do different. And stay tuned because I'm still thinking. I'm giving this a lot of thought and I'm doing it as a passionate marketeer, a passionate freelancer, a passionate translator, linguist, interpreter, everything I am, an artist. I just love to think. I think that critical thinking is going to be the most sought after soft skill for companies that know they want to stay relevant to their own clients and consumers. Let's train that. Let's think together. Leave your comments under this video below, and I'll be happy to discuss, debate, think with you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.